Welcome back. Saturday. Put the video up yesterday. Done a bit of work this morning. Tab is on. That I believe is where the airbox bolts, but I'm not 100%. Hopefully that tab won't be in the way, but solid. Now, I've still got gaps obviously where water can penetrate the battery and the electrics, so I'm going to see if I can get my hands on some thin metal. I'm going to weld it all the way around the outside edge each side, and then once I've done all the paint, I'll pop rivets and rubber on so that the rubber sits close to the edge all the way down on both sides, and that should keep all the muck off. With a bit of luck, and we'll go all the way up the rear with it to try and get as much muck out from under the seat and everywhere else. We just don't want it, do we? So that's the plan with that. And what I was going on, unfortunately, couldn't do the handlebars yesterday because the belts had packed up. I'm such a tight ass that I haven't renewed this, and I replaced the other one years ago with a car one. And unfortunately, very much left of that, is there? Oh dear, oh dear. So I bought two today. They only cost me £8 at £1.25 to the pound on the dollar. $1.25, $1.25. I reckon we're looking at about what, $11 US, and that was £8 UK. Just to give you an idea of how tight this whole build has been. So I drilled them out using that drill bit, and I got a random piece of rusty old metal, but I have another random piece of rusty metal over there which I can cut longer. So that's kind of where I'm thinking of going with this, because the trial bike ones, as much as I'd like to put these on, they're a little bit too low for me. It is actually a shame that I can't find some steel versions of those lying around here. I might have some, but I think they're bent. But I don't even know if they would look right on there anyway. So I've got a weld. I've got to cut off these excess tabs here and round it off with the grinder, and that should be all right. And I am right, they are bent. In that position, that one has to see that gap being closed up there. If you do that, it lines up with the bottom bar neat as hell. Now, other problem I've got coming, the tank. Can't find a tank cheap enough. They are so expensive. They started off at around 50 quid, but they've all disappeared. That's like the whole country wants to make a cb550 all of a sudden, because I cannot find a tank for around the price I want to pay, which is £50. I can't find one anywhere on the internet, anywhere. However, I have found a cb500 T tank, brand new, remanufactured. There is a website that sells them. I may go down that route if I can find a cb550K tank that's smashed up, rusty, and remove the spout area. I could transfer that onto the other tank, because the tank shapes almost look identical. One pair of bars, and they are the same length as the trialy ones. Come on, balance them a little bit. There you go. Just to give you an idea. And one of them does go in slightly. Nothing I can do about it. I don't know if that was because it fell over in the wind when it was a previous machine, or if they're just poorly made. I don't know. I can't tell you. Can't give you an answer to that. But that's the best I can come up with. I pushed a bit of angle. No, that's smack on. Absolutely smack on. Right, well, they're going on there then. There you go, one set of bars. Quite happy with them. I think they'll be strong enough. Hope they are. Your thoughts? Quite centre obviously, but we'll get that right. Works for me. Well, I just took delivery of another rod. This is a CB rod. And again, that shaft, the spring, the screw, sorry, the nut, even the barrel that goes in there, that's all CB, all of it. And it's still falling out of this. So this is not CB, it can't be. I have no idea what's going on. I reckon that was replaced. Okay, I don't know if you can see that bracket down there. I've just ordered 2 brand spanking new because I really genuinely can't be bothered to make any to go on here. So as soon as they turn up, they're coming with Yodel. Probably take about 4 days, which is quicker than be Royal Mail at the moment, because their striking is just messing the whole company up. And I will not order anything. I will avoid ordering anything if it's got to go through Royal Mail, and I know it's going through Royal Mail. Even before they were striking, the service wasn't that great. So yeah, I don't think there's any more money left now. New day. Very windy out there at the moment. Right, I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about this. It's a bit difficult because I put it on a bench. Ideally I could do with this being on one of those motorcycle benches, but as you can see from the room and the mess, I ain't got room for one, and there's no better in there. So the exhaust system will have to wait. I can't do that at the moment because I can't get it underneath. Simple as that, really. The fuel tank, I did look at that this morning as an option. Can we buy a fuel tank? Can we, heck? They're selling like hotcakes and they're making stupid money. I don't know why. They're making more money than the damn bike itself on some occasions. I mean, I got one idiot I saw trying to sell a tank for nearly 500 quid. I mean, he must be sniffing meth or whatever it is. I don't get it. I don't get it one little bit. Yet people are breaking these bikes left, right and centre to make calf races out of them because they're good for the job. Which is that style of tank that's on there now. But the bit that's bugging me about the tank is that bit. And I did draw a line, and then as soon as I drew that line, I thought, well, why cut the tank to that? Why not just get an original? However, there is a website, I did probably mention, that's selling tanks very similar to a CB, but it's actually a cross between this tank and a CB tank. It has the insert. They're about 80 quid, they're brand new. It has the insert. So I think I'm going to look at getting my hands on one of those. Right, in case you buggers didn't believe me, that Popsy Hornet's woke up. I've got him stuck. Now I don't know what to flipping do with him. Bloomin' great thing. Look at the size of that sucker. Well, I filed the alley down on that edge there on both sides, and now it's gripping tightly. So yeah, happy about that, but I was yet to put the throttle slider back in. Obviously this is the wrong way around, but as long as the throttle slider doesn't jam up in there, otherwise I've got to file that as well. The clutch side, I've done the same on that, but I don't have the original screws. And I'm thinking to myself, I need some really serious purchase on that. So I might actually remove those screws and put some Allens. So I might order in some 5mm threaded stainless steel Allens. Those old bars are called Zed Bars. Not what you're looking at the moment. The pieces that I cut off, which go that way and that way, they're Zed Bars. They're Chinese made and they're really poor quality. I have not seen quality as bad as that in a long while. You can't see it on here because I've sanded it down, but along that bottom edge there and that edge there is where the plasma cutter has cut them out on a table, and they haven't done anything to the quality. They've just left it. The welds, I'm not so sure they were that great. I mean, yeah, alright, they're better than my welds, but they're still, for a mass produced factory part, and get this, 43 quid, you'd expect better. There's my handlebars. Midday at the moment. I've been busy, so I haven't had a chance to do any videoing, but we've got the screws that we spoke about. They're all sorted now, and I've cleaned all of the switchgear. Do you know what? I kind of wished I did make some kind of clamps I could thread the wires through, or at least cable tie neatly. I wished I had now. Too late. I'm not mucking my paint up, but I cleaned everything up as best as I can get it. That old carburetor cleaner has softened up, well, unless that's because it's been out in the sun. It could be it's been out in the sun. That's probably what it is. But it seems to have softened that rubber up, or plastic up. Now I've re-greased in there, so they're all ready to go. That's ready to go on, so they're ready to go back on. Well, yeah, what can I say? It is what it is, isn't it? Throttle cables absolutely screwed. I managed to finish that off, but it was already gone on that end, as you can see, and I think I'm going to need a bigger cable for this anyway, if I'm honest. So everything is in place. Just got a cable clamp, all of this lot ready to thread down into the guts of the headlight and other bits and bobs. We're still missing more bits. I've noticed that the cable tensioner up there is not available in my box of shite, but I'm sure I might have another one amongst there somewhere. And also we're missing the switch for that. As you can see, the bit of metal sticking out, so we might have to butcher something else up in order to get that working, so I don't have to replace that entire switchgear, because I really don't want to do that. I don't even know if they're genuine Honda. I mean, they look completely flipping different, but who knows? Who knows what's going on with this thing, because I don't know. So there is two ways this can happen. I can put a bracket on the side with twin stop, because I have two of these. So I could have two, one each side, you know, one there, another one there. We could do two. That could look quite good, in theory. Or we could have two up here, one each side. We could do that if we wanted. In fact, we could have one that was a brake light only and the other one as a standard light only. I think that's legal in this country, and we could have one each side, and because it's got the classic stop, I'd get away with it. I think it would work, especially if we put LEDs in. So I don't actually know what I want to do at the moment, but what I do know is I want to cut these off. I'm not doing it today. I'm tired. I'm struggling at the moment. I had a real late night last night, got up too early, and what with all the driving I've got to do later, I'm tired. But anyway, we can cut that off there, and we can get some of that metal from over there, and we can make a new tunnel. So we fold the metal over, we put a few extra beads in using my bead roller. I mean, that's what we bought it for. And we can make up a twin set of lights that fits on there, and all the wiring will be waterproof because it'll be behind its own little tin. And then we can either weld that onto the mudguard itself, or we can cut the stainless out that we spoke about and then rivet that on. Well, I was going to fold it under actually, and then a bolt there, seal it, but we could then drill some holes in my new tin piece and put that around as well. It is all very feasible. In fact, I could even make, possibly, I don't know if that would work though, because yeah, I don't know if that would work. Stainless steel. I need me stainless steel welding wire. I've got the wrong gas for it. Some around here somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. We had the big tidy up, didn't we, when we were rebuilding the sheds. So I'm not 100% sure where the hell I put everything, if I'm honest. Keys. Another day, Friday. We should receive delivery of that unit today, I'm hoping. It'd be nice to be able to get to that. Handlebars are all on, painted as you know, which I'm quite chuffed about. But I was looking at the pickup today. Been watching a lot of YouTube stuff lately, and I was watching this dude on YouTube in America trying to get a Mac B line or whatever the heck it's called, but the front end on that, absolutely gorgeous. Obviously this is not a Mac B line, you know. But it did get me thinking. It did get me thinking a lot. I think where this is going wrong, because it's been the front end wings that have been playing me up for forever. some of this shape I could probably get away with keeping, but I think I need to get rid of the 2 headlight system that I made. That isn't exactly working. I also think that I need to bring the headlight line up to here, and then I can put one big wide bumper on that joins everything together. And then that got me thinking again. I thought, well, we need some wings with some curve to them, because these flat edges are not working, because I've got this edge here and then we've got that edge there. It's all difficult stuff to work around, but I don't have an English wheel that's going to be good enough for most of what I need to do. And then I thought about it after. I thought, well, hang on a minute, slow down. What we can do, we can make 2-piece wings. We can get a Morris Minor wing, and we can literally take the headlight mount out and flatten it off, or we could get a low light. We could then make a piece of metal that goes across to here, but then curves down there, and then flattens off here with the headlight there, which I think would work. And then we could use the Morris Minor as an end cap for the wing, which is pretty much close to what that B series Mac has. And that might very well work, but there's just one small little detail. I don't have any Morris Minor wings, and what is for sale is quite ruddy expensive. I don't know what's going on with this ruddy economy, but everybody seems to want gold bars for their stuff. So it's an option, isn't it? Oh, this is funny. I literally put the camera down and the guy knocks on my door with my delivery. Now you can understand why I bought the connectors. Me being the dickhead that I am sometimes, didn't check the pictures out properly, so I don't always do my research, and notice that those plugs had basically rotted. That goes on that side somehow, literally in that order, with rubber grommets. So yeah, we've got our work cut out with this. Blimey, ain't we just? Once again, I believe this is an all talking video. The only thing I've got constructive to show you at the moment is the handlebars. So I decided that instead of uploading my video yesterday, I would make the tail light frame. So there's the light we spoke about. We're going to cut those off. We've just made up a cardboard template, which looks something like that, which will be going on the back. I'm not quite sure at the moment how this is going to pan out and how this is going to be bolted on. We've got to get access to those. They're really difficult, and the springs are rusted up, so we'll replace the springs if we can, and we'll put permanent wires in there, and we may very well drill a hole and run the wires underneath, and also we'll put some tabs under there so we can strap the wires up out of the way, and then put a new hole round about here somewhere so we can run them through so they're hidden and out of the way. But the bracket we've got is here. It's not the best in the world when it comes to this. It's watered down too much with thinners because it kept blocking up, so it's smudged everywhere. But we'll cut that out with a grinder. We'll run a piece of big tube in there, and we'll bend that over a piece of tube, and then well, where we're going to go from there, I don't know. We've got to put some plates on there to bolt it down with. We've also got to allow for 2 indicator arms to stick out, because I want that look on the back for definite. So once we've got that perched, I want an indicator to stick out each side of that, so it's got a tri-lead bike look to it. But we've also got to make room for that damn luggage rack, which I'm unsure at the moment how that's going to pan out, because I may make this too damn big. I was looking at the genuine CB stuff, and it really wasn't that high up. And we've also got to have a plate dangle, so we might have to have this overhang a little bit so we can put a number plate on there, but we don't want that hitting the wheel either. So yeah, I really don't know how this is going to work out, to be honest. Well, hasn't quite gone to plan, but it is of sorts a shape. So kind of going down the road, something like that. It really should be raised up a bit higher. Yeah, it's not easy. That metal's really thick and hard to shape, and I've added a few dents in there that I didn't want, so I've got to try and knock them out if I can. I've got the wrong blasted hammers for the job. the one I want broke, handle snapped. I've got to cut that off and reposition it. But I just don't know whether to raise it up, because we've got a number plate bracket to go on now. I mean, it should really go up like that, shouldn't it? Really, ideally. I need to think this through. Maybe I'll have a look online. There you go, it's my attempt at a tail light unit. Yeah. Some of you professional builders are probably looking at this thinking, okay, yeah, crap. Me, I'm just looking at it with the attitude of, I need to save some money somewhere. So yeah, I'm happy enough with it. It ain't perfect by a long shot. A lot of the tools I've got here I could have used. Thanks ever so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Just having a debate at the moment whether to order those mudguards that we spoke about for that, or a fuel tank. We've got the wiring to start, so we'll see where we end up. Laters, take care.